The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's good with it, dog?
Hey, not much, man. We came at y'all a little early tonight, trying to get in before. Yeah, I thought I could pass it. We're trying to get in before the college football playoffs. It's a lot of games today, too. A lot of big games. LSU women taking on Tennessee. Couldn't help but, we come in, that's at 5:30. Okay, can't help that. So early as we can do so. But we are here, man. Bring y'all another great episode. It's getting cold outside. Getting real cold. Yeah. I had to tell you what I told my coworkers at work. I can't say it on here. We'll get canceled. But I'll tell you one thing. I learned my lesson from last year. I won't be getting caught in the snow this year. Won't be no walking down the street in the snow this year for me. But let's go ahead and get to it. But first, y'all know what we got to do. We got to give a shout out to our sponsor over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We will be back in 1 minute.
BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Hey, and as we say that, we're gonna jump into it, man. Get in here and knock it out. First, man, let's talk about Tennessee. Tennessee's women's team. Looking at their stats on the season, they average 97.3 points per game, only giving up 67.4. Great defensive team. I do know that they shoot the three at a high clip. They set the record earlier this season against North Carolina Central. Same team that LSU played. LSU didn't do, so if I'm not mistaken, I don't think LSU did very well from three in that game. But we know LSU is not they don't make their living on shooting threes. We'll hit them and we'll take them when we hit them, but that's not LSU's game at all. Tennessee is shooting 45.6% field goals. They're making about 36.7 per game. They're attempting 12 per game at a 33.1% clip. Free throws, they're at about 65.5% on the season. They take up almost 12 per game. On the other side, they're giving up about 44.5% field goals, giving up 24.9% per. I'm sorry, 25 field goal attempts per game. 3-point percentage is opponents 26.7%. Free throws, opponents are averaging 66.7, and they're getting about 12.7 or 13 attempts per game. Rebounding wise, Tennessee gets 43.5 per game, only giving up 35.4. They're getting about 17.6 assists, giving up 13.4 turnovers. Looking at 15 turnovers a game, turning their opponents over at 27.6 per game. So that's one reason why there's a big discrepancy in their points for and against. If LSU can hold on to the ball, don't turn it over, that's a good sign for LSU in this game, because they're giving up. They're getting 38.1 points off turnovers. Now go back, they're winning their games by 29.9. So that's a big part of why. Averaging 14.9 steals per game, 3.2 blocks per game. So that's what we're looking at, bro.
Well, the main thing that stat sheet don't show you is the style of play that Tennessee plays. That they like if you go back to the early '90s with Arkansas and Nolan Richardson, the style of play that they famed, 40 minutes of hell, is pretty much what Tennessee women's basketball team does. They press the entire game, all 94 feet. They shoot a lot of threes. They don't take a shot pretty much unless it's a three or a layup. So that's why you see so many 3-point shots taken. But they substitute pretty much the whole five almost every 5 minutes, just to keep them fresh because of the pace that they play at. So the main thing for LSU tonight is not being sped up by how Tennessee wants to play. LSU got to keep playing at their pace. Don't get sped up too much. Don't get forced into bad shots, or let them get you out your offense. You got to stay consistent with the offense. You got to not try to go bucket for bucket with Tennessee. You just got to keep your head down and play your style of game for 40 minutes. You can't let them get you out your game and cause you to try to rush, force, and causing turnovers and things like that, because you're playing right into Tennessee's hands when you do that. Tennessee doesn't like to play defense. Like most teams who press, they don't want to play defense. That's why they press. They want to force you into turnovers and mistakes so they can get the ball back and they can play offense. So LSU needs to take care of the basketball and force Tennessee to play defense for the full shot clock at times. Don't rush in the first shot that you get on offense. Make sure you get a good shot on offense. Like, force Tennessee to do what they don't want to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if LSU doesn't try to press Tennessee some, just to kind of slow them down and keep them from running the way that they want to run. So I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup just because of the styles of play that we're going to see in this, and the contrast in styles. But we've seen Tennessee in their first SEC game lose to Oklahoma. So this isn't necessarily a team that can't be beaten. Just got beaten their last game. So LSU definitely has the capability to beat them. They just got to play their game, play smart, and take care of the basketball.
Yeah. I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. we are also live on TikTok. It's a first. We are live on TikTok. So y'all do us a favor. If you're not following us on TikTok, go over to TikTok, give us a follow. Trying to build up on all our platforms. Also, as well, we say it all the time. Thank you for watching. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share. Now we can say do that on TikTok. But make sure you do that on YouTube as well. But let's go back to this game. Leading scorer, one Talasia Cooper, number 55. She is averaging 17.8 per game. Go to, because I want to look at rebounds and everything too. But they have just looking at their top scores 17.8, 13.1, 12.9, 12, 11, 8.4, 7.9. So everybody on their team can score. If given opportunities, they will score. LSU they're going to have to play good defense, and they're definitely going to have to come out there and defend, especially at the 3-point line. Talasia Cooper also leads with rebounds at 5.6. Same with Spearman, Z Spearman. Then followed by Ruby Whitehorn at 5.1. So definitely have to watch out for that. 3-point percentage. Destiny Wells shooting at 57.1% from the 3-point line.
Attempts though, bro.
Oh yeah, I ain't look at that. Next up, you got good catch, Samara Spencer, shooting at 44.9, and she's got 78 attempts.
So that's a little bit more impressive right there.
Yeah, and then you got Jewel Spear, 93 attempts. She's got shooting at 37.6, and then Tess Darby is shooting 34%. So this is a team that can get hot behind that three. Like I said, they did break that record against North Carolina Central. I know we can say it's North Carolina Central. You know, they were winless at the time, but LSU played them and didn't shoot threes like that.
Yeah, LSU. Yeah, they're a different type of team than LSU. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. So
you talked about the fact that everybody, you know, can got pretty good scoring average on their team. That just talks to the fact that how much everybody for their team plays. I talked about the way they rotate, you know, and they get everybody in the game. Everybody's a threat because everybody's comfortable being in the game. You know, it's not one of those situations where they go 10 deep and the 10th player only comes in blowout situations. No, that 10th player did a lot. So everybody that they put on the court is capable of playing at a high level, and they've done it this season because they've been on the floor a lot, and they've been trusted by their coach to play a lot this year. So I just think that it's going to be something LSU hadn't seen before this year in terms of the style of play that they're going against. And I mean, they got great players. You talk about Tasia Cooper, Ruby Whitehorn with transfer point guard from Clemson, who I wanted LSU to kind of look at back when she was in the portal. So they got talent over there, and the style of play is definitely something that you can't really prepare for. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking now at the game that's currently on with Florida and Kentucky. And then I know I posted earlier about all the games tonight. There are several top 25 matchups. But just looking at the SEC, man, the SEC is deep this year. You got LSU at number 6, 17-0. Tennessee, who are playing tonight, is number 16, 13-1. South Carolina is South Carolina. They're number 2. Then you got Kentucky is number 15. Alabama is number 18. They're taking on, I forget who they're taking on tonight. Who are they taking on tonight? But whoever they're, because that's a top 25 matchup as well. Texas, number 5, Texas. It's deep. Looking at, like I said, just looking. Oklahoma's number 10. Who else we got? Yeah, so it's the SEC this year is just like I said, they're deep. LSU's gonna have to come with it this year. They or I say this year, they're gonna have to come with it in conference play. The slow starts that we've seen against lesser competition. We saw it this past Sunday against Auburn. They started a little slow, then picked it up and everything. Against the wrong team, that's gonna put you in too big of a hole. It's gonna be hard to climb out of. When you take on South Carolina in South Carolina this year, they've got to come out hot. I know they just lost Ashley Watkins for the season.
Man, they up by like 50 right now, bro.
Exactly. So it's they up 82-34 on Texas A&M. So it's got LSU's they're gonna have to step it up during conference play.
Yeah, I mean South Carolina. Yeah, they lost Ashley Watkins, but that freshman they got Joyce Edwards. She's something serious, so I'm sure she gonna feel it. That go 3 right there for Tennessee to start the game. But she's gonna fill in with no problems for South Carolina. They one of them plug and play type teams, so I'm sure they ain't gonna have no issues.
Yeah.
I
know that.
I don't want to just do a play-by-play of the game, bro.
Yeah, that's why I tried to go ahead and get the women's game, at least do the preview before they got started. Man, I do want to shift real quick. Talk about the men's team. The men have started off. They do exactly what I just said. The women can't do. They started off slow in both their the 2 games so far. Open in the season, SEC play against Vanderbilt, and then this past weekend against Missouri, or this past Monday. Was it Monday? Tuesday.
One of them days.
One of them days. Yeah.
Together at this point. So
yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
I honestly,
and they say the slow start killed them, bro.
I was, and I'm sure I was amongst a lot of fans who said that this was probably the best and most talented team that we've seen out of Matt McMahon. Coming, seeing them in non-conference play, and right now I don't know. It's like they don't. It's like they regressed a little bit. Conference play picked up.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just the SEC is just that damn good. And the level of competition that they're seeing is increased. So you had slow starts early in the season, but you was able to put together, 5-6 stops in a row against some of them opponents to make runs to get back in the game. You can't do it against the level of competition that you're playing now. So, you're not just gonna be able to string together 18-6 run or nothing like, you know what I mean, to where you can come back to the game. So you got to, like you say, you got to start better so you don't get in those deep deficits to where you got to claw and fight back and expend all that energy coming back, and then you can't finish because you don't have any more energy left. So I think it kind of just part of it goes to, I think, the youth of the team, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mean it like in a, when I say lack of maturity, I don't mean it like as like, they don't know how to act. But as far as basketball maturity and to taking good shots, to
experience and stuff,
yeah, you know what I'm saying, like to playing smart basketball at all times. They don't always do that. They turn the ball over a lot. They take some forced shots and rush shots, and then on defense, it's a lot of missed assignments where guys are kind of falling asleep on defense. So I think the more experience they get, the better that it'll be. But you can't afford it in the SEC play. I mean, you're already down 2 games in conference play already, and conference play just started. So I mean, you definitely got no room for error for the rest of the conference season.
Yeah. I know we're not doing play by, but we said we weren't going to do it. But I do want to say that LSU
terrible.
Yeah, LSU. I was going to say they look like they trying to make this a shootout. They're gonna have to pick up the D pause as this goes along.
See, that's
Because
a bad shot, man. That's what I talk about when I'm talking about bad shot. That was a
talking about what Flage.
Yeah, that was forced, bro.
Yeah. Trying to see who
get the ball out your hand. Oh my.
All right, so
this stressful, bro.
Yeah. When do they play again? LSU plays Vanderbilt on Monday, women, at home, and let's see who the men got next on Saturday. On Saturday, LSU takes on number 23 Ole Miss in Oxford. So it's gonna be road doesn't get any easier. So
yeah,
definitely did. Man, let's go ahead and give a quick update real quick on latest in LSU football. I know that we've got a couple guys on coming on campus for visits. North Carolina State safety is supposed to be taking a visit. I've seen posts about commitments, but I haven't seen anything confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Trying to see where did I see that? And it might have been in group chats.
Oh my God.
Trying to see where I saw that. About the actual visits. Oh well. I do, like I said, I know there's at least one safety coming to visit this weekend, the guy from North Carolina State.
You got the tight end
There's
from A&M.
Tight end from A&M. There's one more player from South Carolina State. I'm not South Carolina, North Carolina State's defense. Was it a cornerback, I believe, that was supposed to be taking a visit as well.
Yeah, I think it was 3 players total. One of them on Wednesday, one of them on Thursday, and one Saturday, I believe, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. We get them on campus. I feel good about our chances, especially with the defense, defensive guys. I think it's easy to see that LSU is building something on defense. So,
yeah, I agree with that.
I honestly, I don't think we need anything else on offense. Maybe a running back, but that's kind of that's also kind of dependent as well. To be honest. But man, let's go ahead and talk about college football playoffs real quick, because that's another thing we're trying to get in before it happens. Tonight, Penn State taking on Notre Dame, and just look at Penn State by the numbers so far. Penn State comes in averaging 436.3 yards per game, giving up 288 total yards per game. Penn State's defense this season has been phenomenal. Very physical. Played some really good games, especially against the run. Genty had 100 yards rushing, but compared to what his average is, that's outstanding. Which makes me think that Notre Dame is going to have a real big issue. Riley Leonard has made some noise with his feet. I don't see that happening tonight. they're going to have to pass the ball. I'm not saying that they can't, because Notre Dame is Riley Leonard is a very capable passer, but it's going to be very interesting. Passing yards per game, Penn State is averaging 234.1. They have 30 touchdowns by way of pass. They are giving up 187.9 yards per game passing, with 17 of those being touchdowns. They're rushing for 202 yards per game, 32 touchdowns coming that way. Only giving up 100.9 rushing yards per game, only giving up 8 rushing touchdowns per game. Third down percentage, Penn State is averaging 47%, only giving up 34.8% on third downs, averaging 69.6% on fourth downs, giving up 55.6%. They've lost 5 fumbles. They've taken away 6 fumbles. Trying to see where we at. What was the? I just looked at the time of possession. I don't think it gave her average time of possession. It didn't.
Total.
No, it didn't. You just got the total.
I'll just give you 7 hours.
7 hours, 35 minutes. And once you divide that yourself, I'm not doing all that math. Yeah. They've got 18 interceptions on the season. They've thrown 9 interceptions on the season. Yeah. So Penn State.
Go back to that. I'll do the math. I ain't got shit.
Oh, the math. 7 hours, 35 minutes.
So that's
53
seconds. That's 455 minutes. Divided by what? How many games they done played? 15?
What are they? Are they 13-2? Yeah, 15. I don't see it on here, but I think they're 13-2.
That's 30 minutes a game, pretty much. So that means their defense give up about the same.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. And that makes sense considering time possession. Yeah, 11 minutes over 15 games. Yeah. So that makes sense. Now switching over to Notre Dame's statistics, and I just want to say Notre Dame, y'all need to step y'all game up when it comes to y'all stats. You got to look at the PDFs.
Man, that look like a newspaper.
I know. Rushing per game, Notre Dame rushes for 217.5 yards per game. They're giving up 127 per game. They throw for 189.1 yards per game, only giving up 167.4, which that plays right into Penn State's hands. Because if Penn State can slow them down rushing and make them pass, it's going to be very interesting. On the season, they're averaging 406.6 yards per game and giving up 295.4. They also have made a living on the defensive side of the ball all season. They've lost 7 fumbles. They've recovered 13 fumbles. They're averaging 30 minutes and 22 seconds per game, giving up 29 minutes and 38 seconds per game. Third down, they're 60 or 154. Why can't nobody just put percentages up here? They want you to do the math. Anyway, it's they're on third down, they're 60 or 154. And you want to do the math on that one?
Yeah,
I do the math on the opponents.
38.9%.
Okay. And they're giving up 29.8% on third down. On fourth downs, they are 73.1%, and they are giving up 33%. I can do that math for real quick. Giving up 33% on fourth downs. see what else. What else? And then now this goes into individual. Of course, we said Riley Leonard. He's got. I didn't realize he had this many rushing yards. He's got 831 rushing yards on the season, 15 rushing touchdowns. Jeremiah Love is a little banged up coming to this game. He is expected to play. He's got 1,000 yards rushing on the season, 16 touchdowns. His longest, of course, is the 98-yarder he put up against Indiana. Passing, Riley Leonard has 2,383 yards passing. He's got 18 touchdowns. Yeah. Leading receiver is Bo Collins with 458 receiving yards. Next behind him, Mitchell Evans with 311. And so on and so on. They distribute the ball to a lot of guys. Nobody has over 500 yards receiving at this point. But a lot of guys have 25 or more catches or 10 or more catches on the season. So, yeah. This game gonna be interesting. To add to this, the mystery of this game, it was reported earlier by On3 that the flu is sweeping through Notre Dame's locker room. It is primarily with the backup and the special teams guys, or the bench guys and special teams guys, but that still plays a part.
Yeah, they said they're good though. What I seen, they
Yeah.
report came out said that they are good. So we'll see. But yeah, anytime you got something like that going on, you definitely got to keep an eye on that.
Mm-hmm. It's also I'm also interested from a betting perspective. This morning, before that article from On3 came out, Penn State was a money line was +1, basically even money line +100, and they were +1. After that news, it flipped. They were Poa, and it didn't count. Best player in the scene. She hit a spin move, laid it up, and they didn't even count it. They called a push off, and it was late too. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. They were plus, like I said, Penn State was +1 before the news came out. Now they're -1. So in just that time, the money flipped in that game. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, I think this is gonna come down to your keys to victory though. Ant, what you got?
I just for Penn State, they got to be able to have some explosive plays. Notre Dame, they got to get something out their passing game to where Penn State can't just load the box on them and try to stop the running game. Defensively, both teams just need to keep doing what they're doing. Both of them got damn good defenses. So it should be a pretty physical, hard-hitting game, and it's really going to be like whatever offense can be more dynamic wins.
Yeah. For me, I think this is a like you said, I'll come back to that to the LSU game real quick. This game comes down to me to which offense can show up. I think I don't think it's necessarily crazy to say that that Notre Dame has the more athletic quarterback in this game. Probably, better, dual threat guy. But I think Penn State has the better offense. I think Drew Allar is Well, look, I'm trying to think the best way to put it. Penn State has the more.
They got more weapons.
Weapon. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get to. I think I think the winner of this game, I don't know how to put it. I think the winner of this game might have a leg up, depending on who wins on the other side. If it's Ohio State, Penn State, Ohio State rematch, I think it's a little bit of an uphill climb, but I think Penn State may be better suited to take on Penn State. I mean, take on Ohio State than Notre Dame. I don't know if Notre Dame has enough offense for Penn State. I mean, for Ohio State, if that makes sense.
That's a good point. I think Notre Dame might be better equipped to go up against Ohio State because of their secondary.
I got you. That makes yeah. That's
but
fair.
But your point about the offense is valid though, because they don't have enough offense. I don't think. Yeah. But in this game, Penn State gotta if they win this game, I think that tight end has a big game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Warren, I think he puts up some big numbers if they win.
Yeah. Let's look at the next game. Texas versus Ohio State. Hold on real quick, 30. Texas versus Ohio State. Texas comes in averaging 34.27 points per game, only giving up 14.47. Same story of the two previous teams mentioned. Texas defense has played a big part in their success this season. Rushing, they're averaging 165.5 yards per game. They've gotten 26 touchdowns. They're giving up 111.8 yards per game and have given up 13 rushing touchdowns on the season. Passing, they're averaging 278.47 with 38 touchdowns. They're giving up 166.13 with 8 touchdowns. Total 443 yards, 443.9 yards, and giving up 277.9. Time of possession, they're averaging about 29 minutes, 58 seconds. So right around half. And of course, on the other side, giving up, 30 minutes of possession, 30 minutes and 2 seconds to be exact. Third downs, Texas averages 43.28 on the season, giving up 31.48. On fourth downs, 56.6 or 56.7, giving up 47.2. They've lost 11 fumbles. They've taken away 9 fumbles. In the red zone, 54 or 67, with 43 of those being touchdowns. Thrown 13 interceptions on the season as well. So that is Texas. Now let's take a look at Ohio State. Ohio State's comes in averaging 36.36 points per game. They're holding opponents to 12.07. Rushing, they're averaging 169.1 yards per game, only giving up 92.2. Passing, they're throwing for 263.43 yards per game, only giving up 152.43. They've scored 30 touchdowns via the run, 34 via the pass. Total offense, they have 432.5 yards per game, giving up 244.6. Looking. Where they've thrown 9 interceptions. They have lost 4 fumbles. They've taken away 8 fumbles, and they have what was I just saw it. 9 interceptions. Third down, 42.7. They are giving up 34.65. Fourth down, 70.37. Giving up 42.31. In the red zone, 47-54 with 41 touchdowns. And they are giving up 21 or 34 red zone scores, with 14 of those being touchdowns. Thoughts on this game?
This the game I'm waiting for right here. I'm ready to see what Texas secondary does against that passing game from Ohio State. I want to see if Texas can run the ball on Ohio State the way Michigan was able to be physical with them. So this game could go so many different ways, in my opinion. I'm just curious to see which way it actually does go. But yeah, you got a lot of talent on the field. Arguably 2 of the most talented teams in the country, or the 2 most talented teams in the country. You could argue. You got Quinn Ewers facing his former team. It's intriguing matchup, man, and it's 2 of the biggest brands in college football history when you talk about Texas and Ohio State. So
Yeah,
I don't think you could have planned it any better.
yeah. I didn't even think about the Quinn Ewers. I forgot he was even went to Ohio State, to be honest. But you're absolutely right. I'm be honest. The same thing I talked about with Penn State being competition against Ohio State. I think that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna say with Texas. I don't think Texas has the offense. I mean, they've got the weapons. They've got, but we hadn't seen it all season. To be fair, I mean,
But is Ohio State's offense going to be as potent against this Texas defense?
that's a good question. That's a good question.
Because I think people expecting Ohio State to score like 38, 40 points or 35 points. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying people saying their offense be explosive. I mean, this might be a 20-17 game. Like
but who gonna have the 20?
I think Texas could score 20 points on Ohio State.
So I'm looking through Ohio State's schedule. They scored 21. They scored 20. That's the 2 lowest games. That was against Nebraska and Penn State in back-to-back weeks. I'm sorry. I take that back. Michigan, they scored 10. Michigan held them to 10. I forgot about that. Texas, though. Let me go to look at theirs, because this is where I look at Texas. They put up some numbers, but okay. Colorado State, they put 52. Michigan, they put up 31. UTSA put up 56. ULM, they put up 51. Mississippi State, they put up 35. Oklahoma, they put up 34. Against Georgia, they put up 15. The first time, they put up 15. Against Vanderbilt, they put up 27. Against Florida, they put up 49. Arkansas, 20. Kentucky, 31. Texas A&M 17, 19 against Georgia, 38 against Clemson, and 39 and 2 overtimes against Arizona State. So I'm being honest with you, they put up more points than I thought they did, but they put up more points. I thought they did, but their offense just hadn't looked. I guess it's the eye test then for me. I can look at it and say it that the eye test they hadn't looked that impressive.
I mean, like, and people think they're not explosive, but if you look at like who
That's
got
true.
the most explosive plays in the country, is Texas.
No.
Believe it or not, like they got more explosive plays than Ohio State.
I have to take your word for it because, like I said, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. But I guess it's because the big games that I remember watching Texas play.
It's because of 2 games, bro.
No. It's more than that. Texas
Georgia,
A&M.
Well, that's okay. 3 games.
Yeah,
Texas,
Georgia, Texas
A&M,
A&M,
games.
Arkansas, because that's another one I remember, and then the Vanderbilt.
Ain't Arkansas the game? Vanderbilt, they scored what, 27 points?
27, yeah. So that's what I was looking at.
A lot of points.
So what?
27 ain't a lot of points.
It's I mean 4%. I mean 4 scores. I guess you can look at it. They scored 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but I guess I thought they would. I didn't think they scored as much as they did. I'll be honest. I thought they were good. I just didn't think their offense is.
I think a lot of people think that their offense ain't that good. I mean, just because like Ohio State ain't putting up 30 every game either. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to go like Ohio State scored 50, 40, 30, you know, all that kind of, like, who did Ohio State play versus who Texas has played this season?
That's fair. I'll be honest.
You can say that Arkansas held that Tennessee offense to nothing.
That's true.
Then Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Georgia got arguably the best defense in the conference. Texas A&M defense one of the best in the conference. So those 5 games, like, I think Arkansas defense better than Nebraska defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, so I feel like when you factor in who they playing against, it's a little bit different than just saying, oh, they ain't scored 35 points against nobody.
That's fair. That's fair. I can give you that.
Too. Like Texas A&M on the road, like, that ain't no easy place to go in and play.
Yeah, and I can give you that. That's true. I guess, like I said, for me, their offense just had. I guess I expected more out of the offense, and I guess that's the easiest way to put it. I expected more out of Texas offense this season, and
based off what? They lost their top 3 running backs, top 2 running backs. They doing this,
but I also looked at it. I also looked at the quarterback they had coming in. Quarterback they had returning and the wide receiver room they had.
I'll give you that. Quinn hasn't been what people thought he could be, but he hadn't been necessarily bad neither.
Oh no, he hadn't been terrible, but he hadn't been. I expect. I guess like I said, I expected more. And I know it's hard to say what's more than that because I mean, let me pull up his numbers.
I feel like you being kind of like he missed how many games?
What, 3? 2
or 3, and he got how many? He got what?
That's what I'm pulling up now.
3,000 pass, 3,100 passing yards.
It says he missed. Looks like he only missed. He missed. Says 1 game. Played in 14. They got 15 games, but one I think he left early. He's I mean,
he got 31.
Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's why. I'm looking at the wrong thing. He missed 2 games. Okay, so he's got 3,189 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 11 picks.
And let's go to Will Howard. Got 3,490 yards, 32 touchdowns, 9 picks against easier competition and with arguably better weapons.
That's true.
So I mean, if Quinn Ewers, if you expected more from Quinn Ewers, did you expect more from Will Howard?
What? To be honest with you, Will Howard's giving more than I expected. I didn't think Will Howard was that good. He wasn't that good at Kansas State, in my opinion.
But he didn't have these weapons at Kansas State.
And that's fair. So that's what I'm saying. Like looking at it now, Will Howard is doing better than that. So I can seriously say that it's an expectation thing. I did not expect Will Howard to do as well as he did. I expected Quinn Ewers to do better than he's doing.
I feel that. I guess it's just because of like you say, Will Howard at Kansas State, and you expect Quinn Ewers in his third year at Texas, but I mean they both having damn near the same season. Like and one of them got a freak generational wide receiver out there, Jeremiah Smith. Like I ain't Texas don't got good receivers, but they ain't got.
I think the biggest difference, and you kind of mentioned it, and I didn't factor in the biggest difference is Will Howard has better running game to support him.
Oh, a lot better running game.
So that's the biggest difference in
like they almost got 2,000-yard backs.
Yeah. And I mean, look, Texas wasn't far off. I mean, it's not. Blue had 744 and Wisner had 1,073. So
both Judkins and Henderson got like 920 yards.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not what you're saying is not wrong. I'm not disagreeing in that. Because if you put these two, if you put Wisner and Blue up against Henderson and Judkins, I don't see anybody in the country that's going to take Texas duo versus Ohio State.
Oh no.
So I can give you that. That's fair. And you're absolutely right. Quinn Ewers is not a mobile quarterback. He's not a mobile threat. Will Howard is. Yep. I guess, like I said, coming into this, I expected more out of Quinn Ewers. But now coming into this, I still do think that I think Ohio State. I don't know why. I feel like Ohio State. I don't know if this is gonna be interesting. Well, Zay put this in here, and it's best cornerback versus best wide receiver in the playoffs is going to be good. So
yeah, it is. Jade Barron versus Jeremiah Smith. You're good one. But back to the offense thing. Like, I get your point about Ohio State putting up more points than Texas generally, but whenever they face like elite teams, I'd say, other than in the playoffs, you know what I mean? In regular season, whenever they played Penn State, they played Michigan, and they played what they did against Oregon the first time. I don't even know.
It was you talking about 32-31?
31. All right, so I take
31, yeah.
But like Penn State, they put up 20, Nebraska 21, Michigan, they put up 10, you know, like so against some better defenses, we seen their offense have issues. And I put Texas defense arguably better than all of those teams' defenses. So I could very well see Ohio State having some trouble moving the ball. And then that leads to it being more of a game that Texas is used to playing in that physical type, smash mouth type game. So interesting to see how it goes if I said Penn State. If Ohio State can't air it out, can they win by just leaning on their run game?
We hadn't had to see it.
That's my point. That's why I don't know. Damn, Tennessee came back. That's why I said, can they?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know if we got anything else before this before everything really get going.
That's all I got.
Mesh, I think we talked. I don't know if we talked about it. I think we talked about it after the show last. Let me ask you two questions. A 2-part question. Who do you think wins it all from here versus who would you prefer to see win it?
I prefer to see Penn State win it. Just because I really don't know any Penn State fans. And who do I think wins it? Right now, I gotta go with Ohio State the way they've been playing. But I think the winner of that game wins it all. The Ohio State Texas.
Okay. Who do I think wins it versus who do I want? I honestly think that Notre Dame might take it.
I don't think they got enough offense.
But I think it's the defensive side that evens things out.
All these defenses are good, bro. Like,
yeah,
and
that's fair.
Be able to score.
Yeah, and that's fair. Who do I want? I want Penn State. Here's why. I know a couple Texas fans. They're gonna talk. Texas gonna talk their trash, but it's not. I ain't really worried about that. The biggest thing, I don't want to hear the first year in the SEC we did this, we won it all. I don't want to hear that. With Ohio State, I don't like Ryan Day.
That's see him. Number 2 team that I wouldn't win it all.
I wouldn't mind seeing them, but I wouldn't mind seeing them implode, like completely implode. I don't want Notre Dame because I do not want to hear anything about Brian Kelly couldn't do it and Marcus Freeman was able to do it. I don't want to hear it because we're already starting to hear that, and that narrative's being pushed. And it's already just, they're already kind of unbearable as we speak. So that's my 2 cents. So that's all I got, man. LSU is actually doing a lot better. I thought this was going to be a much closer game. And Tennessee has come back in this one. But I actually did think that LSU was going to do what they normally do or what they have been doing. So
Zay said, I don't like Ohio State fans. I know one in particular he talking about, boy. I know.
Is it Nick? Is Nick Ohio State fan?
Nah, okay. It ain't Nick. It's somebody in that same group though.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
Honestly though, and I don't really rock with Ohio State fans either, but it's only like 2 of them that I know. So I wouldn't really mind them winning it all. It's Texas and Notre Dame that I really don't want to see win.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame definitely last on that list for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of these refs calling push off left and right.
But they're gonna push off right there. They don't call. Boy, I swear, man.
They calling it left and right, bro. They called one on Poe earlier.
Yeah, but they not calling it on Tennessee. That's the problem. And our defense is terrible, bro. I've been screaming this all year, man. People talking them, man. Let me be quiet. Let's go and end this thing, man.
All right, man. Want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. Like I said, man, we on TikTok now going live. So y'all do us a favor. Go ahead and follow us over there. We'll be back on. Well, I ain't going nowhere because I think we're gonna be snowed in. So I'll be here Sunday, man. We can go Sunday. Might be the only thing I got to look forward to. NFL coming up this weekend, man. Real quick, what do you think? Biggest surprise of the wild card weekend, or big any upsets you got?
I don't even know the matchups, honestly, bro.
Hold on, let me give you them real quick. Matchups: you got Texans versus Chargers, Ravens, Steelers, Bills, Broncos. On the NFC side, you got Rams, Vikings, Bucks, Commanders, Eagles, Packers.
I think the Chargers beat the Texans. I think the Steelers Ravens game could be close since Zay Flowers not playing. Bills demolished the Broncos. The Eagles take care of the Packers. Oh, Commanders Bucks. That's Commanders lose a tough, close game, and then the Vikings beat the Rams. No, I'm gonna go to Commanders win. I'm gonna go to Commanders win a close game. I think they win like a walk-off field goal type game.
All right. I honestly think on the NFC side is all upsets. I think Rams. Well, no, I take that back because Rams Vikings aren't. It's gonna be Rams are the higher seed. I think Rams take the Vikings. I think Commanders take the Bucks. I think the Packers might take the Eagles.
I don't see that one happening. I don't see that. I think.
I forgot. Packers lost.
Watson. Yeah, Christian Watson. Yeah. I think a lot of people looking at that last game from the Eagles, and they looking at what the Packers did last year.
No. I'm more looking at the Eagles. It was something else about the Eagles. It wasn't the last game. It was something else. I think I might be getting them confused. No, yeah. I take that back. So I think Rams, Commanders both get those wins, and Eagles win. I think Bills win. I think Ravens, and I think I might be with you on the Chargers taking the Texans.
Chargers beating the Texans, bro. Only reason I think the Vikings beat the Rams, I think the Rams got too much stuff on their mind outside of football right now.
Oh, with the fires and stuff. Hey, our thoughts and prayers with everybody in California as well, and especially everybody affected, or anybody who has family that's affected. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so, yeah, man, I completely slipped my mind about that. Because I was literally looking at it earlier. So, but you're absolutely right on that. But it'd be interesting to see playoff Jaden. Do we see playoff Jaden? That's gonna be a good one to see as well. Can the Ravens play up to their potential instead of playing how they've done in the playoffs these past few years?
I don't know. Zay Flowers being out is a big one for them, and they play a division rival who very familiar with them. That's I still think they win, but that's tough.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. Boy, Zay. That dude has no filter.
I ain't saying wrong, but I ain't saying he right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get our theme music before we even get up out of here. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Do us a favor, go follow us on TikTok. If you're not already following us, why is this not playing? There we go. If you're not already on YouTube, please do share, like, subscribe. We'll be back on Sunday. Like that.
This show is presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.
You can find the Golden Boot Podcast on YouTube at Golden Boot. On Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On Facebook at the Golden Boot Pod. On TikTok at Golden Boot. Or listen on all streaming platforms. Golden Boot.